Okay, let's start with the following. Um, Kathy, would you mind reading this Manny needs?
Manny needs to write an equation in slope-intercept form to represent the linear relationship between x and y in the table shown at the right.
Okay, so I need to write this. So, first question
Yes.
is how can Manny find the slope? We have x values and y values. So, my suggestion, pick any two consecutive pairs, one that follows another. And let's find the change in x values and the change in y values, and we could take it from there. So let's start with 1 to 4. That's an increase of.
3.
Now, let's go 2 to negative 10.
Decrease of 12.
Any question how we got those? Okay, so now what we can do is find the change in the values. We've done this before, it's just been a while. We want to find the instantaneous rate of change from y over x, the change in y over the change in x. Make that an x there. Well, other way around, it's the change in y. The change in y was negative 12.
The change in x was positive 3.
Okay. Excuse me. Follow along. So we got to find any two pairs like this. Find the change. It's change in y over change in x. Reduce it. If we reduce this, we get negative 4. So that's the rate. It's the constant rate of change or slope is negative 4. All right. I'd like you to tell me how can we find the y-intercept?
We just look at the first two values, and when the x is at 0, y is at 6.
And I heard 6. Yeah. Sometimes it's given to you, sometimes it's not. So we may have to hunt it down. I'll show you how in a little bit. So yeah, in this case, we're pretty lucky. They do tell us it's 6. Since we have 0, 6, the b value is 6. And the slope we found is negative 4. So now let's write the equation. Remember, it's in y equals mx plus b form. So the equation is going to be y equals, instead of m, we'll write in negative 4, x plus 6. Okay. And there's our equation in slope-intercept form. So what I'd like you to do, and it's going to be a little bit of a challenge with number 2, I'd like you to try finding the equation in slope-intercept form from these two tables. Okay? So give it a try. Find the m and the b, just like we did, and then write the equation. Okay? All right, so at this point, the only thing left is to write the equation. Y equals 1.25 x plus 6. Okay. So here I think the more challenging part was finding the slope or rate of change. It's going to be the opposite for number 2. Look at your values here. We don't have 0 for x. But let's figure out the slope. let's see if we can't determine the slope value. Change in y over change in x. Pick any two numbers. I usually like to stake 20. Okay, we got 2 over 40. 40 over 2, which is 20. So 20 it is. The slope value is 20. Okay. So as we move up, the rate of change, for every 2 we move up, it's 40, right? Or for every 1 we move up, it's 20. We would like to know when x is 0, what's the b value, right? We'd like to know this one. Maybe if I add here, I'd like to know this value.
It's 10.
How'd you get that?
I got because if we go backwards through, it'll go the other way. It'll go negative values instead of positive, and each time it'll be minus 40. So you go back. So you minus 2 from x, minus 40 from 50, and you get 10.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So instead of moving forward and adding 2 and 40, we can move backwards. 2 take away 2 gives you 0, so that's minus 2 this way. And then 50 minus 40 is 10. I'll show you another method that would work in a little bit. So y equals 20x plus 10. Okay? All right. So any questions on if it's easy, like this one was easy, to move backwards to get your 0 value for x, do that. But sometimes it may not be easy, or sometimes it may be easier to find a different way. Yes, Dave.
3 and 4.
Oh, okay. Let's get there. Let's do this one, number 3. All right. Let's figure out change in y over change in x for the slope. Any pair you like. I'll do this one. Okay. So I'm going to go from 9 to 12. That's plus 3. What if I go from negative 18 to negative 24?
Minus 6.
Minus 6. Okay. So that would be negative 6 over 3. That reduces down to... Okay. All right. So for every 3 we go up, we go down 6. Can we use that here? Can we use that here? Okay. Let's do it. Yeah. We would go back 3 to get 0. But here we would go plus 6. Since going forward, you're subtracting 6. Going backwards, you're adding 6. So you get 0. So we get negative 2 and 0. I could just write it that way. I don't need the plus 0. All right. So, David, what did you get for this one?
Oh,
I got for M 10 and for B for M 20 and for B 10.
Okay.
So Y equals 20M plus 10.
Okay. Let's take a look. Definitely you're right that B is 1. Did you say B was 1?
Oh no, B was 10.
Well, it's 1 though. See?
Oh,
When X
I'm
is-
sorry, I'm looking wrong. M equals 5, B is 1, Y equals 5M plus 1.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was looking at 2.
Let's take a look. Let's see here. Change in Y
Is 0.2,
over change in X.
which is 1.
Okay. That's plus 1. And here we're going from 1 to 1 1/5. How much is that?
0.2.
Let's use a fraction, 1/5.
But then when you put it into
We'll be fine. You'll see. Watch. Our change in Y was 1/5, right? Our change in X was 1. What's 1/5 over 1?
1/5.
1/5. Let's just leave it as 1/5. If you did 0.2, it's fine. It'll work. It's just not as helpful for graphing purposes. Okay? So we have an equation now. Y equals 1/5 X plus 1. All right. I'd like you to try this one with your table partner, number 5. All right. Let's see. Find the slope. What's the slope? What was the rate? Yes. $3.75. $3.75 per. So it's $3.75 per drink. What's our y-intercept?
6.25 or $6.24. It just represents the amount of that the popcorn costs or they buy the other drinks.
Okay. So in the context of this situation, that's the cost of the popcorn. You pay the cost of the popcorn, then depending on how many drinks, that's your rate. Let's write down the equation then. Y equals 3.75 times X, the number of drinks, plus $6.25 for that popcorn. And that would be the total cost. All right. Ready to go on to the next side? 10 more seconds. Okay. We're only going to go up to number 9. So let's try to go quickly. Starting with this. I want you to work with your table partner on number 6. Work on number 6. Number 7, we're going to do the same information, get the slope, get the y-intercept from the equation, and then write the equation. Okay? All right, everyone. Last 2. The slope is the rate, and the y-intercept is the initial value, your starting point. Read the situation and write down the slope, the y-intercept, and the equation. Let's read the situation. Lilith, can you read it? Number 8.
Carly wants to buy some fish to keep in her room. At a local pet store, customers pay $12.50 for a fish tank and 20 cents for each fish they purchase. Write an equation to represent the relationship between T, the total cost, and N, the number of fish purchased.
Okay. So first of all, we're writing an equation not with y, x and y. We're writing an equation with n and t. So in place of x, we have n. In place of y, we have t. Now, which of these two purchases is only done once?
The fish tank.
Fish tank. And that's your initial value. You got to have a fish tank for the fish. So that's $12.50. Would that be your x a la n or y a la t? Oh, I'm sorry, not M or B. Which one? B. So it's $12.50 here. And then it's 20 cents per fish. That's your rate. So it's 0.20 for every fish. So here's the equation. T, the total cost, equals 0.20 plus, or actually N, I forget the N, 0 plus $12.50.
That's why the variable exists.
Yeah. T, the total cost is 0.20 N plus $12.50. Okay.
So number of fish size is N.
So
Below the surface?
Oh.
okay, let me pass out the assignment.
Oh, I'm gonna fail.
We didn't have to do the last one.
There's a front and a back.